Hello, students, and welcome to this virtual college fair. You can use the Q&A button at any time to ask questions to each presenter. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. Please sign up for more sessions. There are ones later tonight, as well as in the next couple of days. And this recording will be available in about a week on the StriveScan website, which is the same place that you signed up. So now I will turn it over to our presenters. I believe Texas A&M, you are first.
Alrighty, howdy everybody. I'm going to take a moment to share my screen and let's dive on in. So my name is Betsy Hardy. I am the Regional Advisor for Texas A&M up here in Denver, and I'm going to share a lot of information with you over the next 6 minutes. So Texas A&M is pretty centrally located for the population of Texas. We are a college town itself, but we're a 2-hour drive from Austin, Houston, only about 3 from Dallas and San Antonio. So you get to see a lot of people. We are the first institution of higher education in Texas, but at the time we started as an all-male military school. That is no longer the case, although we still do have the Corps of Cadets. We currently have around 60,000 undergraduate students, but we do have students representing all 50 states as well as over 100 countries. So we started as an agricultural mechanical school, but we have definitely grown since then. We have over 120 different degree plans. Our College of Engineering is by far our most popular, with around 20,000 current students in that college, but our business program is also very well known, and you can pretty much study anything that you could be interested in while you're at Texas A&M. No matter your career goals, we have got a major for you. We're a holistic review school, so that means we're looking at students' academics as well as non-academic factors. As far as academics go, we focus on a high school academic record, SAT or ACT, although we are test optional this year. So students are encouraged to send those test scores in if you have them. If they help your application, that is wonderful. We'll take them into consideration. If not, if they weaken the application or you don't have any on file, they will not affect your application in any way. We also look at non-academic factors. So that'll be everything that students do throughout high school, extracurricular activities, community service. We take employment into consideration, as well as any talents, honors, or awards. And then we also have an essay as part of our application. This is a great place to tell the reviewers a little bit about you. The essay is typically something about your high school experience, things that you have gone through in the past couple of years, a great time to talk about unique opportunities, challenges or hardships, and really to show off your resourcefulness as well. We give scholarships to around 75% of our student body. Our scholarship application is embedded within our admissions application, but if you'd like to see the full criteria for our scholarships, head on over to scholarships.tamu.edu. We have scholarships for academics, leadership, our Corps of Cadets offers scholarships, we've got opportunity, need-based. If you think of it, we probably have a scholarship for that. Again, those scholarships are embedded in your admissions application. So now it's kind of the fun stuff to talk about our student life. We are a Tier 1 research institution. We have a land, sea, and space grant. So students are getting a lot of money to do research on our campus. We also have a lot of student services on campus, ranging from our student counseling services. We have a GLBT resource center, a women's resource center, multicultural services, and then of course the career center and professional school advising to either get you ready for a job after graduation or to prepare you for those professional programs like med school that you might be looking at. We are a large student body, but our average class size is only about 20, and there are lots of ways to find your community at Texas A&M. One way is to get involved in our student organizations. We have over 1,100 of them, ranging from sororities, athletics. We even have a Crocs club. So no matter what you're interested in, know that there is a community for you at Texas A&M. Our largest student organization is still our Corps of Cadets. Those are students who live in an ROTC program, the largest of its kind outside of the military academies, and it's a great leadership training program. There is no military obligation. So if you're looking for kind of that structure or that experience while in college, consider the Corps of Cadets. Another great way to plug in while you're on campus is to live on campus. We do not require students to live on campus, but we do have around 12,000 Aggies who live on campus. That includes our living and learning communities, which are our honors dorms, engineering village. We've got an Aggies on the Spectrum dorm, a wellness dorm, social justice dorm, lots of ways to really dig into that community. We are in the SEC. We have NCAA sports, football being the largest, but of course, lots of things to do on the weekend when it comes to spectating sports. But if you're more into doing the sport, being active, we have our rec center. We've got an indoor pool, outdoor pool, rock climbing wall. We even have a mountain. It's man-made, but we do have a skiing class at Texas A&M. If sports aren't your thing, or if you also love music and sports, we have an entire music activities office that will range from our jazz band, choirs, orchestras, If you want to continue playing that instrument, but you don't want to major in music, that's something that you can definitely do. We also have a lot of really rich Aggie traditions that date back to our beginnings, which is a really great way to plug in and really have the same experiences. So we are #1 at sending students to study abroad. That's a great thing for you to do. Our Education Abroad office will work with you, see what scholarships are out there for you, where we can send you, visas, everything like that. Might be a week-long study abroad, might be a semester, depends on what you're looking for. We have the most graduates serving as CEOs for Fortune 500 companies, so having that Aggie degree, having that Aggie ring can really say a lot when it comes to looking for jobs. And then we are #1 among public universities for superior education at an affordable cost. Thanks and give them. I hope I didn't take too much time. Here's my information. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me at any time. Turn it on over to you.
All right, hello everybody, and thank you, Betsy. My name is David Stein, and I serve as Associate Director for Freshman Admission at TCU. So I oversee our freshman admission and scholarship programs, and I am also a Colorado native. So shout out to the Coloradans, all of you, and also a TCU alum. And I use he, him, his pronouns. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen as well, and just talk a little bit about who we are down here at TCU in beautiful sunny Fort Worth, Texas. So just a little bit about who we are at TCU. We currently have 9,500 undergraduates at TCU. So one of the coolest things about Texas, and you'll see that today, is that we have pretty much every size of college you would want. And in this group, we have some of the largest and also some of the smallest schools in Texas. And TCU, though, we really do fit kind of right in the middle. So again, we're 9,500 undergrads. We have a lot of students from outside of the state of Texas. A little more than half of our students come from the rest of the world. So, and then Colorado, again, my home state, is actually our third largest state on campus. We have a lot of Coloradans coming down to TCU, but again, students from truly all over the world. And then our student to faculty ratio is 13:1. We also believe in small classes. Only 1% of our classes on campus are more than 50 students. So most of your classes are going to be, 10, 20, maybe 30 students. And then moving on to just the spirit of campus, TCU is also a very spirited place where we all wear purple. If purple doesn't work for you, you actually probably shouldn't come to TCU. So we do believe in big spirit, but again, we're also one of the smallest Division I schools, and the smallest in the Big 12 conference. So you just get that nice mix of being able to have small classes and a really nice community feel in the classroom, but then on Saturday you get to go to these big sporting events and things like that. And we're one of the few Division I schools left as well that all of your sporting events are free and guaranteed. So if you want to go to a big football game, if we're playing Gen over at Texas Tech on a big Saturday weekend for students, that's totally free. You just walk into the game. And we are also a Tier 1 research institution. So you have a lot of research opportunities available, especially here in the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area, which is the 4th largest metro in the nation. DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, is actually almost twice the size of the state of Colorado now in population. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities here in DFW. And then as far as academics, we have 120 majors, so we have a lot to choose from. And our majors are direct entry. So if you apply to TCU with a major in mind, you put that on your application and you start in that program. So that includes our nursing school, our business school, engineering, a lot of those programs where you might have to apply separately at some places, which is really good to ask a lot of these colleges. But at TCU, it's just a one-stop shop. So we try to make that simple. And about 2/3 of our students actually either double major or have a major and 2 minors. So we're a very flexible curriculum as well, with a lot to offer there. And then as far as the application process, our early application is due in a month. So that's early action. That's not binding. So if you're someone who just wants to get an answer earlier so you can think about things more, early action is probably your best bet. But we do have early decision too. If you decide that you bleed purple and you're ready to be a Horned Frog here in Fort Worth, early decision does make things a little bit easier. It does have our highest acceptance rate. And if you're thinking about that, definitely let me know. I'm more than happy to answer questions about that. And then for those of you that might need a little bit more time to apply, we have a regular decision. That's our last deadline due February 1st. So again, if you just need a little bit more time, that's totally fine with us. You're not being punished in any way. It's just the only drawback there is if you apply later, you're going to hear back a little later from us. And that just gives you a little bit less time to make that decision. So I'm always happy to answer questions about these deadlines. And then as far as what we really consider, we also are very holistic in our process. We don't have any, magic numbers or automatic admission or anything like that. We do read every application on an individual basis. And mostly what we're looking for are good academic credentials. We want to see you doing well in classes. We do want to see you challenge yourself. Now, with that said, especially for you, maybe sophomores and juniors in the crowd who still have some time to think about what classes you want to take, we really preach balance at TCU. We want you to have a balance of, yes, challenging yourself and taking some AP and some dual credit classes or some honors classes, but we also want you to sleep at night and have friends and join clubs and do fun things. So yes, we want you to challenge yourself, but we love to see students who have that balance as well. So we also really look at what you're doing outside the classroom. And as an institution at TCU, we really set up our curriculum to teach students ethics and values so that you can go into the workforce and go into the world and think about how you can use your career to do something good, to help people and to be service-minded. So students who have that reflected, I think, is great. If you've been able to do community service or have a part-time job or any way that you can give back to your school and your community is something that we really value. And then we only require one essay here at TCU. So only one essay needed, and then a teacher and counselor recommendation as well. This is our total cost here at TCU all in, but of course with college, we offer a lot of scholarships, both private based on your GPA and things like that. We have also gone test optional and really have the same idea where it's not going to hurt you to submit a test score. We actually are telling students, if you've got good grades, don't go take the test. We actually are encouraging students that for a lot of you, the test probably won't help. We're a lot more focused on those other factors. And then we also look at financial aid as well. I think one important thing you'll see at private schools is that CSS profile. That's a different financial form that we require, but that just looks a little bit deeper into things like cost of living, which is extremely important across Colorado, but also if you have siblings in college as well. And then just the city of Fort Worth. We are the 13th largest city in the nation. And so again, a lot of opportunities, but to me, it always kind of had a Colorado vibe, which is why I loved going down to Fort Worth and TCU. That it's a very metropolitan city, but at the same time, it still has a very relaxed feel to it. A lot of outdoor spaces. Just some beautiful places to hang out. So I know I'm hitting up my time. I see the StriveScan message telling me to hurry up, but I will put my information in the chat. So if you have questions, please feel free to email, text, call, send me an owl or anything that needs to be done to let us know if you need help. Thanks, and of course, go Frogs.
All right, good evening. I am here representing Texas State University. So I've got my screen shared here and we'll dive into information about Texas State. My name is Keegan Duncan. I'm a regional manager with Texas State University. I'm actually based in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And this is going to be my contact information here. If you send us any questions in the chat, you may also be responded to by Ms. Kelly Tallering, who is a regional manager for the Houston area. Either one of us can help answer any questions that you have. Again, our job is to be your connection to Texas State. Texas State's located in San Marcos, Texas. You'll see kind of where we are there on a map. We're about 30 miles south of Austin and 50 miles north of San Antonio. So you're within an hour of both of those major cities. We have about 38,000 students as part of our campus community. In San Marcos, about 60,000 people. So you get a really cool dynamic between a large campus, all of the opportunities that affords, with the laid back, slower feel to a small town. So it's a really cool dynamic, really getting the best of both worlds. We have 8 different areas of study that students can choose from, close to 100 different majors inside of those 8 areas of study. Some of the ones that we're most proud of include our College of Education. We actually graduate the 4th most certified teachers in the entire country. So that's a really big deal to us. We also have a top-notch nursing program. 4 straight years of 100% passing rate on that nursing licensure exam, as well as a civil engineering program, one of only 3 technology-enhanced infrastructure civil engineering programs in the country. So we're really proud of what our students are doing in the academic fields, and we hope that we can connect you with a program that you're interested in. Again, large campus, close to 400 different student organizations, ranging anywhere from honors organizations, special interest groups, professional clubs, traditional Greek life, community service projects. You'll see Bobcat Build right there in the middle of this slide. This is actually our largest service project on campus. As I said, we're a pretty large campus in a fairly small town. So this is a really neat opportunity for our entire campus community to come together and really give back to the community around us. So the city of San Marcos, the San Marcos River that flows right through the middle of our campus, we work to keep that clean, as well as keeping the campus itself clean. 36 different sport clubs, esports, intramurals that go on throughout campus, as well as 16 different NCAA Division I athletic teams spread out through the Sun Belt Conference. We have broken down here our admission requirements. We're going to look at what classes you've taken in high school students, and then also see what your class rank is, so to see how you've done in those classes. That will help determine what level of the SAT or the ACT scores that you need, that you can see listed here on this chart. The easiest way to read it, the better that you do in your graduating class, the lower the test scores are that we're requiring. For this 2021 admission cycle, we are holistically reviewing the top 75% of the graduating class, regardless of test scores. We know COVID's affected a lot of people, so if you haven't been able to take the SAT or the ACT and are in the top 75% of your graduating class, we will review your file holistically. In order to get to that point, we do need you to follow the steps that we have listed here. Filling out that application on either Apply Texas or the Coalition for College, an optional but recommended essay, high school transcript that I mentioned earlier, and then if you've taken any dual credit classes, we'll need that college transcript, and then if you have taken the SAT or the ACT and want to send those test scores to us, then you can definitely do that as well. Our deadline for students wanting to join us in the fall semester is going to be March 1st. That is a priority date. Anything submitted after that is granted admission on a space available basis. You'll also see our scholarships listed on this slide. We have assured scholarships that are just going to be strictly based off of academics. Again, we will be reviewing students for these scholarships holistically this year. We also have our competitive scholarships housed in our Bobcat online scholarship system. We call it BOSS. So those are application-based scholarships where you're competing against other students who might qualify. You'll also see down in the bottom right-hand corner that any students who qualify for at least $1,000 in Texas State scholarships, so that could be assured or competitive scholarships, then you can qualify for in-state tuition rates. There is a non-resident tuition waiver. So again, if you qualify for at least $1,000 in scholarships, then you can pay in-state tuition at Texas State. We'd also love for you to come visit us. We are doing on-campus tours as well as virtual information tours. Our Bobcat Days are moving online for this year, which are our big group open house events. So if you're wanting to hear from a little bit more different offices around campus, then you can definitely do that. And then academic days are going to be specifically focused on one academic program. One last question that we do get a lot during these presentations is about housing. So students are required to live on campus for their first year at Texas State. We have 23 different residence halls for students to choose from. And that website right in the middle, reslife.txstate.edu, has a breakdown of all of the different residence hall layouts that you can go check them out and explore and find one that fits best for you. If you do have any any other additional questions, then you can definitely contact us at one of the links here or scan that QR code in order to get to our travel brochure. So hope you all have a great night, and I will pass it on.
Hey, David, you're on mute.
Hi, it's Jen. Hi, sorry
Sorry,
about
Jen.
that. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Jen Miller. I'm with Texas Tech University. We are located down in Lubbock, Texas, which if you're living here in Colorado, according to my Denver students, it is about a 7-hour drive. According to the parents, though, it's about an 8-hour drive. So it's a very easy drive, not the most exciting drive, but a very easy drive. It's far enough away that you can go down there and you don't have to worry about your parents popping in for surprise visits, but it's close enough that if you need to get home for some home cooking, you can do that. We were founded back in 1923. Back then we had just 914 students, and our new numbers actually as of last week is we have 40,332 students on campus, which is very exciting for us. That's been a goal for a while. And I know even though that's a lot of students, our average class size is still 30. And we work very, very hard to maintain that. So it gives you a chance to get to know your professors. It gives you a chance to get to know your classmates, which makes the whole experience a lot more fun. We do have a student-teacher ratio of 20:1. So again, you're going to get to know those people that you're in class with. We are a D1 school. We have 15 different sports that are Division I. And I don't know if you guys watch basketball, but our basketball team did really well last year, not this past year. There was no March Madness this past year, but year before last, we made it to the playoffs, got beat by Virginia in overtime. It was heartbreaking. Our football team is doing better. Our baseball team has made it to Omaha the past 4 years for playoffs, so it's very exciting. We do also have intramural sports and club sports. So if you like sports, but don't want the pressure of D1, we've got a lot there for you to still do. We even have a Quidditch team, which if you're a Harry Potter fan, that is hilarious. You can actually YouTube those games and they are so fun to watch. We do have more than 550 different student organizations. So we have a very strong Greek life if you're interested in rushing, being in a sorority or fraternity. But we also have many organizations that are tied to specific majors. Like our theater major, for example, has 22 separate organizations specifically for theater students. So there are so many. We have a bass fishing team, we have a ski team, we have a salsa dancing club team. So I mean, there are so many different things to do. Basically, as long as you leave your dorm room, you are going to be busy. So we also have a fantastic study abroad program. We've got more than 80 different locations that you can choose from. We also have Texas Tech University in Seville, Spain. And that's a wonderful option if you're looking at, going abroad and you kind of want the continuity of still like being on campus, but you want different weekend activities. That's a perfect fit for you. We do have also one that opened up 2 Decembers ago in Costa Rica. So that is another option. We don't do study abroad programs there yet. If you want to go to school there, you definitely can do that. So we are also a Tier 1 research institution. Oh, back to the study abroad. We also, study abroad is actually required for our engineering students and our architecture students, by the way. So we do also have, like I mentioned, we are a Tier 1 research institution. So you can come in no matter what your major is and you can participate in research. If you see a project going on or a study going on that you want to be a part of, you can jump in and be a part of that. Or if you've had a cool idea of your own, you can actually write up the proposal, you can give it to your advisor and they can get you funding for that. So one of my students at Air Academy was actually published his sophomore year. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience for him, he said. We do have in most majors, we have required internships, which is really great. And all of that leads you to, let me move on here. Okay, all of that leads you to this year, we actually hit a college-wide average 99% job placement within the first 6 months of graduation. That is very, very exciting because I mean, that's the end goal of going to college, right? You want that job. So 99% of our students who are looking for work find jobs within 6 months, which is awesome. We also became a Hispanic Serving Institute this past year, meaning we've got at least 25% of our students on campus who are Hispanic. And also this year, we are now test optional. I think that is extremely exciting because now we are looking at more than just your test score and your class rank. We're going to look more closely at those grades. We're going to look at all your extracurricular activities, any work experience, volunteer experience. We love volunteer experience, but we're going to look at everything, at you as a person. So make sure you send in those essays, make sure you send in any letters of recommendation. All of that can strengthen your application. But if you want to send in a test score, you can certainly do that as well. In fact, you can do that all the way up until June 1st after your senior year. So you've got a lot of time to do that if you want to retest. We do a super score as well. And also this year, we accept both the Common App as well as Apply Texas. We do have more than 150 different majors there on campus. And then again, like Texas State, for us, if you are an out-of-state student and you get just $1,000 of a competitive scholarship from Texas Tech, you get in-state tuition. Plus, your scholarship will be subtracted from the in-state tuition amount, which makes it even lower. So it makes us extremely affordable. Here's my contact information here. I do live in Colorado, so if we ever get to meet in person again, I'd be happy to meet with you at Starbucks or someplace. You get to pick. All the treats are on me, and I can tell you guys all about us. And thank you so much again for coming.
Awesome. All right, so I think I'm going to bring us home. Last presentation of this group. Go ahead and share my screen. Awesome. All right, everyone. My name is Michaela Nip. I'm an assistant director of admissions at Trinity University, which is in sunny San Antonio, Texas. I'm also a graduate of Trinity and graduated in 2016 with a degree in ancient Mediterranean studies. I'm super excited to share some information with you guys about Trinity University today. So first things first, Trinity size. We are a private liberal arts and sciences institution with about 2,500 undergraduate students. So we definitely have that small environment. And if you're a visual person like me, you see that picture on the right, that's truly what our class sizes look like, right? Amazing opportunities to engage and connect with the faculty and with your fellow students. And our faculty truly are experts in their area of study, with 97% of them holding doctoral or terminal degrees in their field. And that student to faculty ratio is about 9:1. So really amazing opportunities to engage with your professors and really getting to know them and build almost like mentorships with them. In terms of our academics, we do have the liberal arts education. So in terms of the arts, the sciences, the humanities, all rolled into one, but we also have a handful of pre-professional programs as well. We have a fully accredited School of Business. Our engineering program is nationally ranked. We have the oldest computer science program in Texas. Our communications program is really strong, where students are creating their own radio station, their own TV shows, their own podcast. And we have a phenomenal education program as well that's had 100% job placement for the past 20 years. We do not do program-based admissions at Trinity. So it's totally okay to not really know what you want to study just yet, and you don't have to declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. So if you're accepted into Trinity, you get to dabble around in all the different departments that we offer. And you can see we have 49 majors, 61 minors, 6 grad programs. We even have 2 advising programs, one for pre-law and one for health professions. Our students are definitely combining different areas of interest. About 1/3 of our students are double majoring, and about 80% of our students major minor, sometimes in pretty unexpected areas like computer science and classical studies, where I've actually seen a student graduate and go on to work for NASA, but also be working with numismatics, which is something to do with studying coins, and he does a lot with actually ancient coins. And he kind of found that by studying both computer science and classical studies during their time at Trinity. Our resources are phenomenal. We have a $1.4 billion endowment. Really where that becomes important is when it comes to merit-based scholarship. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but also in the facilities we have. Our campus is beautiful. I'll show you a photo in just a moment, but that also includes renovations to amazing facilities like our Center for Science and Innovation. That was a $127 million project, but it also means we can employ amazing faculty at Trinity as well. So that's kind of how we're using our resources, through merit funding, through renovations to campus and the facilities, and bringing in amazing faculty. We are located in San Antonio. This is probably one of my favorite things about Trinity is our location. We are a small school of 2,500 in a huge city, the 7th largest city in the United States. And we truly are in the heart of San Antonio, just a 6-minute drive from the Alamo, which is in downtown. So remember the Alamo, and just about a 7-minute drive in the other direction from an international airport. So it makes it incredibly easy for our out-of-state students to be able to make it to San Antonio and explore. Our students are engaged in the city in a lot of ways through internships, research, through community service, but we're really connected into the city of San Antonio. And you probably see that most notably through the fact that the current mayor of San Antonio is Ron Nierenberg, who is a Trinity alum. We are residential, so students live on campus for 3 years, but they're guaranteed housing all 4. And our residence halls are swanky. They have walk-in closets, balcony spaces. It's 2 rooms to 1 bathroom, so no communal bathrooms whatsoever. And our students definitely take advantage of living and learning with their friends and their classmates, and really kind of engaging with the campus community that way. Even though we are a small school, we have a ton of Tiger pride. We are a Division III athletics institution. We also have club sports, intramural sports, outdoor recreation for students who want to go out and go hiking, climbing, kayaking, whatever it might be in San Antonio. We also have over 115 clubs and organizations. And while we don't have a Crocs club, we do have a bullet journal club and a bee club. So we do have quite a wide variety of ways for students to get engaged on campus. And it's very common for our students to be engaged in quite a few different things at the same time. One of the things we're most proud of is the diversity of our student body. I'm not going to dive into each of these stats too much, but really what I want you to envision is being in a small classroom at Trinity with about 15 other students in that classroom. You have your professor at the front of the room who's teaching a class, and as you're engaging and having these conversations, you're talking to classmates who are from different states, different countries, maybe speak different languages than you, had different backgrounds and perspectives and upbringings, and they're able to bring that to the table and challenge you and help you grow. And that's what makes our students better citizens, both at Trinity and beyond Trinity as well. So it's something we're incredibly proud of. The last thing I want to dive into here is just how to become a Tiger. I won't spend too much time, just a quick overview. It is free to apply to Trinity. We're on 3 different application platforms. We have 2 deadlines, November 1st and February 1st, and both of those have a binding and non-binding option. We are a holistic review institution, so we do look at each piece of the puzzle before we make an admissions decision. And this year, we're proud to say that we are test optional, both for admission and merit scholarship. You're automatically considered for merit scholarship when you apply, and that ranges from $12,000 to $30,000 a year. And again, going back to our resources, we are able to provide really generous merit and need-based aid to make Trinity an affordable option for our families. I know I've reached the end of my time and I've talked really fast, but I hope that you will reach out to me if you have any questions. We're super excited to work with you as you're considering and exploring Trinity, and I hope to welcome you to sunny San Antonio very soon.
And that reaches the end of our session. Thank you, students and panelists, for joining us. Students, when you close this window, there will be a quick 4-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. Please sign up for more sessions. There will be more after this, as well as in the next couple days. And in about a week, there will be a recording available on the same website that you registered for this event, StriveScan. So again, thank you for joining us.